So, 2023, I finally got on an airplane for the first time in over 20 years. Ironically, well, no, not ironically, coincidentally, the last time I had gone on a plane was to go down to Florida with my parents to Disney World. So this time I went on a plane to see my friend Drew in Florida, and from there we both went to Manchester, England from May 16th through May 23rd. So we had some time to kill before we checked in, so we went sightseeing. This was by our hotel. A lot of bars and restaurants that were open pretty much all night long, so okay, so the first place we went to, well, aside from the coffee shop, but the first place we went to was the Police Museum, which was connected to our hotel. I think at one point our hotel was part of that building, but don't quote me on that because I could be totally wrong and totally off base there, and yes, me being wrong. There's a first time for everything. The tour guides here are all former cops or constables, and it was funny when they asked Drew where he was from, he said Florida, and then when I told him where I was from, New York, the guy said, "You better piss off then." Well, just kidding, love. The men call each other love there. That's the old courtroom, and that's what the courtroom used to look like before they renovated the place. Metal stairs, so in the morning when we were waking up, we could hear the people bringing us our hot chocolate and Americano. Yeah, see, the funny thing is, when I was a teenager, I loved tea. Didn't really like coffee. Didn't really start drinking coffee till I was about, what, 22, 23. And Drew's never gotten into coffee, so everywhere we went, he would order his tea, and I would always try to get coffee, because I can't live without the stuff. And so everywhere we went, I was ordering an Americano. I felt kind of gauche going to the UK and ordering an Americano. A drink called an Americano. Like I couldn't give it up for a week? No, I couldn't. Yeah, so I just settled for feeling gauche. Okay, so this was high tea, where you couldn't wear, you know, you wouldn't wear like t-shirts and flip-flops, you know, so we got dressed to the nines. One thing I loved in Manchester was everywhere you went, they would ask, do you have a nut allergy? Because of course I do, so I think it was like a 15-pound difference between Drew's high tea and my high tea because they charged a little bit extra to have the nut-free option. But every restaurant we went to, the first thing the waiter would ask you, or waitress, does anyone have a nut allergy? See, in the States, we just make fun of people with nut allergies. Well, I don't, but I used to. Hey, I never claimed to be a nice person. And now, some snippets of the nightlife in Manchester. Okay, this place coming up was awesome. Mala. I don't remember the food that well, but it was really a cool place. It was about a 2-minute walk from the hotel, and see, it's all built around the trees in the park and stuff, like a whole bunch of interconnected sheds. Yeah, we did quite a bit of drinking on this trip. Okay, I'm doing things a little out of order here, but because this was technically towards the end of our trip, but I had so many cool shots of it, I wanted to put it towards the beginning of the video. This was a flatboat tour we did. So we're on the flatboat up and down the canal. And those are a rare kind of bird, unique to the UK, and oh wait, no, they're just, yeah, they're birds. Oh, but unlike American birds, those are actually real birds. They're not robots that are spying on us. Oh, well, you know, that reminds me, I have to go outside and feed the robots soon. They send good reports to the deep state if you feed them. True story. Okay, this was probably my favorite museum of all the museums we went to. And this is what the inside of the one end of the flatboat would look like, you know, the living quarters. Looks like a dollhouse, doesn't it? But that was life size, life scale. I've always been a sucker for museums that have like setups like this, you know, with the little town inside one of the halls and mannequins. You do know, though, after midnight, those mannequins come to life, so you don't want to be in the museum then, right? Especially that guy, he has a cleaver. And here we are in Manchester's gay village. Went there a couple times. The first night we went there, they had karaoke at one of the bars, and I wish I had done it, but I didn't. I didn't have the nerve. The second time we went down to the gay village, we went to a bar when I was a teenager and in deep denial about being gay, you know, when I was trying to be straight. This place was pretty much what I envisioned all gay bars being like. Just a bar in the basement somewhere where they played nothing but show tunes and movie musical clips on the TV screens. And yeah, that's exactly what that place was. So I finally found my dream gay bar from when I was, when I was a teenager. That doesn't sound right. This was a beautiful room. My only complaint about the room was the fact that there was no dresser. They had this beautiful chest, so I took the left side, Drew took the right side, and that's where we kept all of our clothes, and we changed every morning. This was the bathroom. The shower controls were a little bit weird. It took both of us a couple of days to figure out how the shower worked. The water pressure, the hot water. Just about everywhere we went, the sinks were like this, you know. So that was cool. That was really cool. I don't know what the story is with this thing. It was part of the original building when it was like a warehouse, and Drew actually read that plaque. I kept saying I would read that plaque, but I didn't read that plaque, so I don't know what it said. Here we are at the Science and Industry Museum. I love that display. Love, 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 love it. Almost reminds me of the MG my parents had when I was a kid. They sold that to get a station wagon. I had set up my cell phone here to get video of us because I wanted to get a candid shot of the two of us while we were having a conversation. You can see I'm actually trying to pose for the eventual still photo. I cut that part out. And more of the nightlife in Manchester.
In your mouth.
Love the mix of old and new here, you know. Here we are at the Manchester Jewish Museum. And this is the oldest standing synagogue in Manchester. It's been converted into part of the museum, so you're actually allowed to take video there. Okay, this might be my favorite museum now. I was thrilled we got to this museum while they had the Egyptian exhibit going on. I remember reading a placard at the museum about how much the richest of the ancient Egyptians would have paid to be mummified. It wasn't just pharaohs who were mummified, but the elites. So I guess the elites were mummified, middle class would be buried in a coffin, and the poor would be dumped in a ditch somewhere when they died. See? The death industry, it's always been a racket. This group was outside our hotel window, because this is right outside our hotel window actually, every night, because there was a bar behind the hotel called the Fitzgerald. We actually decided we were going to go there our final night, but that was the one night they were closed. That group would be hanging out there every night until about 4 a.m. and then all of a sudden it would be dead silence, which would wake us up, and then we would go back to sleep and then wake up around 9 every morning. Can you imagine me waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning? I'm an early person usually, so that's funny. For me, 7 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. is usually sleeping in.
Folks hear the story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the ruggedest, uggest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale.
But alas, all good things must come to an end. And that week really flew by.